The woman who trusted the wrong person, and the secret that destroyed everything. This is the story of a woman named Lisa. And let me just tell you, it's a lot. Because Lisa, she trusted the wrong person in the worst possible way. And the things she survived, most people wouldn't believe them if she told the truth straight up. But that's the thing about people like Lisa. They're so used to staying quiet, so used to making themselves small, that when the truth finally comes out, it hits harder than anyone expects. So grab a drink, take a breath, because this one's heavy. Like, comment and subscribe for more videos. Thank you. Lisa lived in a quiet neighborhood, a peaceful street, the kind of place where everyone waves, everyone smiles, and everyone somehow knows everyone's business without ever admitting it. And she lived there with Mark, her husband. Mark, where do I even begin with him? On the outside, he was charming, polite, soft-spoken, the kind of guy who held doors open for strangers and remembered the names of every neighbor's kid. But behind closed doors, that wasn't the man Lisa knew. The man she lived with was different, colder, sharper around the edges, someone who seemed to be made of secrets and unfinished sentences. Lisa always said she felt like she was married to a question mark, something that didn't add up, something that didn't quite fit together the way she thought it should. But she stayed, because that's what people do when they think they're supposed to. When they believe time will fix things, that patience will change things, that love will finally be enough. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes love is the blindfold someone puts over your eyes while they lead you into the dark. And for years, that's exactly where Lisa lived. It started with small things, little moments that didn't make sense. Like the way Mark would check her phone when he thought she wasn't looking, or how he'd ask questions that felt too rehearsed, too specific. Where were you the exact moment I texted you at 2:14? What did your sister say about me? Why were you standing by the window for so long? Questions that made no sense. Questions normal people don't ask. And Lisa would usually laugh it off, make a joke, try to lighten the mood, but his face never changed, not even a little. Then came the nights he didn't come home, followed by mornings when he pretended nothing happened, brushed it off, gave vague answers, changed the subject, and whenever she pushed, whenever she tried to get even an inch of clarity, he'd shut down completely, emotionless, silent, or worse, he'd twist the entire thing around until somehow, in ways she couldn't even understand, the whole conversation ended with her apologizing. And after a while, Lisa stopped asking questions, because she learned that curiosity came with consequences. So she adapted, adjusted, made herself smaller, quieter, easier to handle. She did what she had to do to keep the peace. But the thing about peace, if it's built on fear, it's not peace at all. It's a warning, and hers was about to get loud. One afternoon, Lisa found something strange. She was cleaning the house, just doing normal things. Laundry, dusting, trying to keep her mind busy. And while picking up Mark's jacket from the couch, something fell out. A key, small, silver, unmarked. Nothing extraordinary at first glance, just a key. But here's the thing. Lisa had never seen it before, and she knew every key in that house. This one didn't belong to anything she recognized. She held it in her palm for a long time, turning it over, trying to figure out what it could belong to. A storage unit? A lockbox? A drawer? She didn't know, and she didn't want to ask. Not after everything. Not directly. So she waited, for a moment when Mark was distracted, preoccupied. But something strange happened. That night, when he came home, the first thing he did was reach for the jacket. Not to wear it, not to hang it. He checked the pockets. Lisa noticed. She wasn't supposed to, but she did. And when he didn't find what he was looking for, he froze. Just for a second. Barely noticeable. But she saw it. Oh, she definitely saw it. Then he turned to her slowly. "Have you been in my things?" His tone was flat. Too flat. Lisa's throat tightened. "And no, I was just cleaning." "I didn't." He stepped closer. Calm. Controlled. A little too controlled. "Are you sure?" She swallowed hard. "Yes, I'm sure. He held her gaze for a long moment, then turned away, but the damage was done. Because from that night on, Lisa realized something. Mark was hiding things, big things, and he was willing to protect those things at any cost. Lisa didn't have many friends. Not anymore. Mark had a way of discouraging them. Subtly, quietly, always with a good reason. But she still had one friend. Her childhood friend, Nina. Nina was the kind of person who could tell something was wrong even from a single text message. She didn't need details. She didn't need explanations. She just knew. So one day, when Lisa called with that quiet, shaky voice that only comes after years of holding everything inside, Nina didn't hesitate. "Lisa, tell me what's going on." Lisa didn't tell her everything. She couldn't. Not yet. But she mentioned the key, the strange behavior, the silences that felt dangerous. Nina listened, didn't interrupt, didn't judge. When Lisa finished, there was a long pause. Then Nina whispered, "Lisa, I don't think you're safe." Those words stuck to Lisa's ribs like ice. 3 days later, Lisa made a decision. A quiet one, careful one, the kind you make when you're tired of being afraid. She was going to find out what the key opened. She spent hours trying different places, different locks, different guesses, until finally, she found it. A small storage facility right outside town. Old-looking, faded paint, dented doors. The key fit into one of the units. Perfectly. Lisa stood there for a long time with the key in her hand, heart racing, hands shaking. She could turn back, pretend she never found it, pretend everything was fine. But she didn't. She stepped inside. The unit was dark at first, cold, smelled like metal and dust. She flipped a light switch, and what she saw made every hair on her body stand up. It wasn't one thing, not a single object. No, it was the collection. Photos, folders, boxes, all labeled, all organized, all about her, her schedule, her routines, times she left the house, times she came home, notes about her phone calls, names of people she spoke to, receipts from places she visited. And then the worst part, a folder with her name. Inside were printed screenshots of private conversations she never shared with him. Notes he had taken on her reactions, on her emotions, on what made her nervous, what calmed her down, what scared her. It was like reading a manual someone had written on how to control her. Her legs went weak. She had to sit down. And then she found it, the envelope, black, sealed, her name written on the front. When she opened it, she felt her heart stop, because inside was something she had never expected. A photo of her, sleeping, taken from inches away. Behind it was a note, short, handwritten. "You're easier to manage when you're quiet." Lisa's hands shook so hard she dropped everything. She realized something horrifying. This wasn't a storage unit. This was a shrine to control, to manipulation, to her fear. She ran out of the unit so fast she didn't even remember locking it behind her. Lisa didn't sleep that night, or the next one. She didn't know what to do, who to tell, who to trust. And then, Mark noticed. He always did. "You seem distracted." She forced a smile. "Just tired." He studied her, head tilted, eyes a little too focused. "Anything you want to talk about?" She shook her head. "No." He smiled, a small, tight smile. "Good. Secrets are exhausting. Better to let them go." Lisa froze, but he walked away like nothing happened, like he hadn't just said something that made her blood run cold. That night, she quietly packed a small bag, just essentials, just enough to leave quickly if she had to. But she didn't get far, because as she reached the front door, she heard Mark's voice behind her. "Going somewhere?" Her breath caught. She turned slowly, just getting some air. He stepped closer, too close. Lisa, we've been together long enough. You should know by now. I don't like surprises." She swallowed. "I'm not." He leaned in, whispered in her ear. "You should get some sleep." She nodded quickly and retreated upstairs. But she didn't sleep. She stayed awake, watching the door, listening for footsteps, waiting. 3 days later, Lisa made her move. Mark left for work at 7:30 a.m. Same time as always, same routine. But this time, Lisa was ready. She grabbed her packed bag, her keys, her phone, and she ran straight to Nina's apartment. The moment Nina opened the door, Lisa collapsed into her arms. Nina pulled her inside, locked the door, sat her down. "Okay, talk to me." And for the first time ever, Lisa told someone everything. The storage unit, the files, the photos, the note, the fear, all of it. Nina listened with wide eyes and shaking hands. "Oh my God, Lisa, we need to call someone. The police, anyone." But Lisa shook her head violently. "No, not yet. I need to understand why. I need to know what he wants." Nina stared at her. "Lisa, this man is obsessed with you." Lisa looked down at her hands. "No, it's more than that." And she was right. Nina insisted Lisa stay with her for a while, just until she figured out what to do. But something strange happened. Every night, Lisa noticed the same car parked across the street. Black, tinted windows, engine off, never moved. Nina brushed it off. Probably just a neighbor, but Lisa knew better. Then one morning, Nina found something at their front door. Package. No return address. No note on the outside. It was addressed to Lisa. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a small audio recorder. Just one button. Play. Nina grabbed her arm. "Lisa, don't." But Lisa pressed it. First, there was nothing. Just static. Then a voice. "Marks. Calm. Cold. Soft. I know where you are." Lisa dropped the recorder. Clattered on the floor. Nina swore under her breath and kicked it away like it might bite her. "How did he find you?" "Lisa, how?" But Lisa didn't answer, because something inside her shifted. Fear turned into something else. Determination, clarity, resolve. "If he's watching me, then he'll slip up eventually." Nina stared at her like she'd lost her mind. But Lisa wasn't losing her mind. She was finally finding it. 2 nights later, Lisa made a horrifying discovery. She was in Nina's bathroom, washing her face, trying to calm down, trying to breathe. She reached for her towel and something behind the sink caught her eye. A tiny light, blinking, barely visible. Camera, hidden in the wall. Lisa stumbled backward, heart pounding. She called Nina in. Nina's face went pale as she pulled the tiny device out. There was no question. Mark had planted it, which meant he had been in Nina's apartment. Inside, close enough to touch their things, close enough to watch them. Lisa felt sick. Nina grabbed her shoulders. "Lisa, we need help. We need the police. This isn't normal. This isn't just a bad husband. This is dangerous." But Lisa shook her head. "No, there's something else. Something I'm not seeing." Nina stared at her. What could possibly be worse than this? But Lisa didn't have an answer. Not yet. Later that night, Lisa's phone rang. No caller ID. She hesitated, then answered. She expected Mark, but it wasn't him. The voice on the other end was a woman's voice. Calm, warm, almost gentle. "Lisa, I need you to listen." Lisa froze. "Who is this?" The woman sighed softly. "I've been trying to protect you, but you need to leave the city. Tonight." Lisa's throat tightened. "What? Why? Who are you?" The woman hesitated, then said something that chilled Lisa to the bone. "Mark isn't your enemy. Not the only one, at least." Lisa's hands shook. "What are you talking about?" The woman inhaled deeply. "You can't trust the people around you. Not all of them. He wasn't working alone." Lisa felt the world tilt. "What do you mean, not alone?" But the line clicked off. Call ended. Lisa sat in silence for a long time. The room felt colder, smaller, tighter. Then she heard the front door open. It was Nina, carrying groceries, talking casually over her shoulder about dinner plans. But something was off. Her smile was too quick, her tone too bright, her movements too smooth. Lisa suddenly remembered something. The way Nina always knew when she was upset, when she was scared, where she was. The way she opened her door as if she had been expecting Lisa. Exactly on that day. Exactly at that moment. The way she brushed off the parked car. The way she reacted to the recorder. Too shocked. Too dramatic. And worst of all, the way the hidden camera had been placed exactly where Nina would never notice it. Unless she was the one who put it there. Lisa's breath caught. Nina, how long have you known Mark? Nina froze, just for a second. Barely noticeable. But Lisa saw it. Then Nina laughed, confused. Lisa, what? What are you talking about? Lisa didn't blink. Don't lie to me. Nina's face softened. Oh, sweetheart, you weren't supposed to figure it out like this. Lisa took a step back. Nina set the grocery bag down slowly, hands steady, expression calm. I didn't want to hurt you. I really didn't. But Mark, he needed help. And you needed watching. Lisa shook her head. No, you're lying. Nina smiled sadly. Lisa, I've been involved since the beginning. Lisa felt her knees weaken. She backed toward the wall. Nina stepped forward. Mark was never working alone. Someone had to keep you close. Someone you trusted. Someone you would run to when things got scary. Lisa felt tears sting her eyes. Nina, why? Nina sighed. Because you're important. More than you know. And he wasn't the first person who wanted to keep track of you. Lisa's breathing quickened. What does that mean? Who else is involved? Nina tilted her head. You'll find out. Soon. Lisa felt the room spin. Nina took another step forward. Lisa, don't run. Not now. Not when we've come this far. But Lisa did run. She darted past Nina, grabbed her bag, and sprinted out the door before Nina could react. She didn't look back. Not once. Lisa drove for hours. Didn't stop. Didn't rest. She kept seeing Nina's face, hearing her voice, thinking about the phone call. He wasn't working alone. You're important. He wasn't the first. What did that mean? Why her? Why all of this? Eventually, Lisa pulled into a motel. Cheap, quiet, empty parking lot. She locked the door, sat on the bed, tried to breathe. Her phone buzzed. A new message from an unknown number. She hesitated, then opened it. It was a photo taken through the motel window of her, right now, in this exact moment. Her entire body went cold. Then another message appeared. You ran from the wrong person. Another followed. You were never in danger from him. And then the last one. You're in danger from me. Lisa stared at the screen, her hands shaking, her breath trapped in her throat. She slowly approached the window, pulled the curtain back just a tiny bit. The parking lot was empty, silent, still. But then she saw it. A shadow, tall, standing at the far end of the lot, unmoving, watching. Her phone buzzed again. One final message. See you soon, Lisa. Because the real villain, the real puppeteer behind everything, the person who controlled Mark and Nina and all the shadows in her life, they're still out there. And Lisa, she just became their favorite obsession. Lisa didn't move. She couldn't. The air too thin. Her heartbeat too loud. Someone was out there, watching her, right now. But something in Lisa had changed. She wasn't the same woman who whispered apologies in her own home, or the woman who tried to shrink herself into safety. No, she was done running. Lisa stepped back from the window. Her hands shook, but her mind was sharp, clearer than it had been in years. She grabbed her phone, opened her contacts, dialed the number she'd been avoiding for years. Her voice trembled, but she spoke. There's someone stalking me. I'm in danger. I have proof. It was the first time she had ever said those words out loud. The dispatcher stayed on the line until officers arrived. And when they did, Lisa felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Relief, but she also felt something else. A strange calm, as if she already knew how this night was going to end. At the police station, Lisa finally felt safe enough to breathe. They asked questions, lots of them. She answered everything she could. told them about Mark, about Nina, about the storage unit, the audio recorder, the camera, the photo taken moments before, and the mysterious woman on the phone. The officers looked at each other, concerned, focused. Then they made a call. Within an hour, a detective arrived. Older, sharp eyes, tired voice. He introduced himself as Detective Hale. "Lisa, I need you to stay calm. We've been waiting for someone like you to come forward." Lisa frowned. "What do you mean, waiting?" Detective Hale took a slow breath. "You're not the first woman this group has targeted." Lisa felt her lungs freeze. "Group?" He nodded. "Yes, coordinated network. A surveillance ring. They pick vulnerable women, track them, control them, use them. It's organized, hidden, extremely hard to catch." Lisa's hands tightened around the edge of her chair. "And Mark?" she whispered. Hale's expression hardened. "We've had our eye on him for a while. He wasn't the leader, but he was active. He followed orders." Lisa felt sick. "And Nina?" Hale looked almost sympathetic. "She was deeper in than Mark. She was trained, groomed into the organization. They use people like her to get close to targets." Lisa shook her head slowly. This can't be real." But Hale leaned forward, voice low. "It gets worse." Lisa's stomach dropped. "Our department received an anonymous tip months ago," Hale said. "About you, specifically you." Lisa's breath caught. "Me? Why me?" Hale hesitated. "We don't know yet, but someone high up wanted you watched. Closely. More closely than any of the others." Lisa's skin crawled. "Do you know who?" she whispered. Hale shook his head. "Not yet, but we will. I promise." For the first time in a long time, Lisa believed someone. What happened next unfolded fast. Faster than Lisa ever expected. Within 48 hours, police raided the storage unit, recovered every file, every photo, every note, every piece of evidence Mark had collected. Then they searched Nina's apartment, found even more: encrypted drives, hidden cameras, maps, schedules, and a list of names. Women. Lisa's name was at the top. Mark was arrested at his workplace without resistance. He barely blinked. He just whispered, "It's too late." She was never yours to save. Nina ran. She didn't get far. They caught her at a bus station 2 cities away. Calm, quiet, like she knew the chase was pointless. When questioned, her story was chilling. "We never hurt anyone," she said softly. "We just watched. That's all they asked us to do." "They?" Of course she wouldn't say who, but she said something else. Something that stuck with Lisa. "They're not after you anymore. Someone else wants you protected now." Protected. Not hunted. Not tracked. Protected. From who? Lisa was placed under temporary protective custody. A safe house. Quiet. Secure. For the first time in what felt like years, she slept. Deeply. And when she woke up, she felt different. Lighter. Not healed, not yet, but no longer suffocating. Detective Hale visited her that morning. "We're shutting the whole operation down," he said. "Your case broke it open." Lisa nodded slowly. "Does that mean it's over?" Hale hesitated. "Mostly." Lisa squinted. "What does mostly mean?" Hale sighed. "We still haven't identified the person running the network. The one who ordered your surveillance. The one who called you that night." Lisa's heart skipped. "And the person who sent the messages?" she whispered. Hale shook his head. "We traced them. They bounced through dozens of servers. Whoever they are, they're good." Lisa felt the familiar chill crawl up her spine. "Do you think they're still watching me?" Hale didn't answer right away. Then, "We've put protections in place. You're safer now than you've ever been. And you're not alone this time." Lisa nodded. But something inside her knew. The story wasn't done. Not completely. 6 months passed. Lisa rebuilt her life. Slowly, carefully. She got her own apartment, therapy, a job she loved, a small circle of genuine friends. She laughed again, smiled again, breathed again. Mark and Nina were both convicted. Long sentences, no chance of release anytime soon. Justice, real justice. For the first time in her life, Lisa felt free, truly free. One evening, after work, she walked home with a calm heart. A warm breeze, a quiet street, a sense of peace she never thought she'd feel again. She entered her apartment, locked the door, dropped her bag, started making tea. Her phone buzzed. A text. Unknown number. Lisa froze, then slowly reached for the phone. The message was short, just 2 words. "You're safe." Lisa stared at the screen, waiting, breathing shallow. Then another message came through. "You always were." Her heart pounded. And then the last one. "We were never watching you to hurt you. We were watching to make sure no one else did." Lisa's breath caught. Her phone buzzed one last time. A final message. "Enjoy your life now, Lisa. We'll take care of the rest." She looked out her window. The street was empty, quiet, peaceful. But Lisa knew, somewhere out there, someone still had eyes on her. Not to trap her, not to hurt her, not anymore, but to protect her. A hidden guardian, a shadow she would never meet, a presence she would never fully understand. And for the first time ever, that didn't scare her, comforted her. She whispered into the quiet room, "Finally, I'm free." And this time, she truly was. Like, comment and subscribe for more. Thank you.